Hi guys, and welcome back. So today I'm bringing you the final Tool Age build order for the Age of Empires 1 build orders for the Return of Rome DLC. So thanks to Microsoft for providing me with a key for this. I say this is the final one. We've got 4 build orders for the Tool Age now, which are Axeman Rush, Slinger Rush, Bowman Rush, and now this one, which is the Scout Rush. So in terms of further build orders, I might bring some more out in the future. We'll see how much demand there are for the Age of Empires 1 builds, but I did want to make sure we had plenty ready for you to be able to pick up and play once the game is released. And I think that's sometimes half the problem, isn't it? When we get these new games, we don't quite know what we're doing, so it's nice to have some sort of build orders together. So with this one, if you've seen any of my other videos, we're following the same Stone Age start. So we're going to have 6 on the berries and 1 scout. The scout's going to keep making sure that we're making houses as it goes. And once we've got the 6 on berries, we're going to send 3 onto wood. Your scout needs to find the deer, or the gazelle as they are here, and just try and get them pushed into your town centre. So deer pushing, a little bit different to how it is in Age of Empires 2. Your deer don't, or the gazelle don't run back to where they started from, which is nice. So you can kind of push them in and then just kill them off by your town centre there. So now we've got 3 on wood. All remaining villagers are just going to go onto the hunt, and that's as straightforward as the Stone Age build order is, up until we get to 20 population. Once we get to 20 population, you'll idle your town centre a little bit, and you can just quickly garrison them to get up to Tool Age, so getting that 500 food. So it's generally quite common with Age of Empires 2. It's more it's more about timings rather than sort of set numbers, if you like, in terms of villages. So we want to be clicking up at about between 6 and 6 minutes and 30 to be able to get up to the Tool Age with a good time. So other civilizations with good bonuses, you might be able to get an extra villager for that click up time, so do bear that in mind. We're still looking at the same sort of time with them regardless of civilization. So build orders are quite interesting, I think, in Age of Empires 1 in that respect. They're very much different to what we get in Age of Empires 2. And there's also a lot of sort of RNG involved, a lot of randomness involved with Age of Empires 1, because it depends on how good your map is, essentially, and whether you can find any food resources, all of the food you need, some elephants, because you're going to need elephants. Otherwise, by the time you get into the Tool Age, you'll be struggling to keep up food production, basically. So you can't get farms until the Tool Age, and you have to have a market to be able to get farms. So the granary is not the prerequisite building, it's a market, which is a bit weird. So now we've got our 20 population. You'll see us garrison these villages into the town centre in a minute. Come on, there we go. We've now clicked up to the Tool Age, so about 6 minutes and 12 I think that was. So perhaps a little bit later than I'd have liked. I did have a little bit of villager out of time at some point, but now we've clicked up. We're going to send 1 villager forward to try and find where the enemy is, and we're sending 5 over to wood. And that's all we've got to do for that sort of transition, really. We've still got that original scout villager. He's going to be basically just looking for elephants, because like I say, we need to get those elephants in. A bit unfortunate actually, because there's some berries there and I never find them, so pretty bad scouting, I suppose, from my perspective. So we've gone forward, we've found where the enemy are, so we know pretty much where they are, so we can just kind of come back and perhaps make some houses along the way, or try and find any other resources. So we probably could have lured that elephant if we wanted to, but we are in the process of luring this one, so maybe not try doing 2 different ones with 2 different villages at the same time, although your villages are generally quicker than the elephants, so it's not quite so risky. But when you're on your way up, you want to make a barracks, get another house down like we did there. Probably want to get another house down at this point as well, to be honest. And as soon as you've hit the Tool Age, get the stables down. So that's what we're doing now. Ideally, you want to be sending pretty much all your new villages onto food sources at this point, because scouts cost 100 food, so they are quite expensive. Actually the most expensive tool age unit in the game, so yeah, when we kind of struggle for food as it is in this game, to go scouts is quite a challenge. You'll end up probably with, you know, more than 20 on wood at some point once all these resources have run out. As you can see, we've made a barracks, not a barracks, market, so we can start making farms soon enough. All of your berry villages, once the berries are finished, just send them over to wood. We will need to increase our wood production or income, because we want to drop these farms down. Farms are very expensive in Age of Empires 1, the 75 wood, so yeah, they do cost quite a bit. Ideally, if you can afford it, get the upgrades for your cavalry, for your scouts, so you can find your cavalry armour and toolworking for the armour and attack upgrades in the storage pit. Once you've got them, just send them forward. That mobility is really quite valuable. They don't really pack that much of a punch, scouts. There's only 3 attacks, so certainly the toolworking tech will be quite important, I think. But as you can see, we're pretty much running out of elephant now. If I found those berry bushes, that'd have been alright at this point, but I'm going to end up having to chuck all of these onto straggler trees. We're just chucking more villages onto wood at this point, because we know we need to get the farms down. So this is where the randomness of the map generations comes into play. You can end up with quite a chaotic economy until you can, you know, get the wood in and kind of settle things down a bit with farms. But just keep going in, keep attacking villages, picking them off. We've got the armour upgrade, we've not got tool walking yet. Probably a little bit short on resources for that, it would seem. So you could potentially sacrifice, you know, 1 scout, you know, instead of making a scout, get tool working, probably be better for you. Able to kill off the villagers a bit more quickly, and perhaps kill off any of the enemy units a bit faster. But that's pretty much it for this build. So thank you very much for watching. Do check out the other Age of Empires 1 videos on the channel, and do consider subscribing if you've enjoyed the content. We do have a goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so do consider helping us out. Cheers!